Smooth B, what's
my
going
love.
on?
How are you, John L, man?
I'm good. I need to
Good.
adjust myself.
All right.
You know, us women got to get
Hey,
situated.
yeah, let me get right too.
You're fine. You're
Thanks,
fine.
Mom.
You know,
Thank
men,
you.
they age like wine. Women,
Right.
I don't know, not so much.
I
Some of us do. Some of
Oh,
us,
shit.
you know.
You age like fine wine.
Well, can you pop this for me? Pop
Oh,
the
I
bottle
sure
in.
can pop it, baby. I'm gonna pop it for you.
See, she made it all difficult. We thought we was getting some bubbly.
There we go. Hey, we getting exclusive.
Okay.
We getting exclusive.
Thank
Let me
you.
tilt this for you.
Right.
Huh?
A real gentleman tilts the glass.
Come on, man.
You know, because usually when you pour that beer, it's the fuzz on top.
Yeah.
So you got to learn how to tilt it the right way.
You better tilt it right.
And we don't want to knock over his personal life.
Oh, yeah. I got my John. Look, I came through and she said, smooth. Huh? And that's what we doing.
And that's what we doing. Speaking of that's what we doing, I mean, you came out to Cali.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even tell nobody. You was like changing it up.
Yeah.
And coming out to Cali. So nobody even knew. You just been out here laying low.
Yeah.
And how's it been, the experience?
Man, let me tell you something, man. Cali is something else, you know. I always had a thing for California, man. I always felt like, you know, I got a chance to travel different places over the years, but certain places resonate with you.
You had that California love.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and you know, and I always got love out here, and I could always see myself and imagine myself being here.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. See, and just like that, from the Bronx to the streets of LA.
Oh yeah.
And according to that video, you were hitting the streets. Now you got a new single.
Yes.
I mean, it's not new, but it's new to us.
Yeah.
So, you know, singles can stay new for a minute.
That's right.
But the name of this song is Before. Okay?
Yeah.
So what does that mean exactly before Smooth? Like, I don't even know what life was like before Smooth.
I'm trying to tell you, baby.
Right.
Woo! So I'm gonna tell you, it was rough before Smooth came, baby.
Was it?
You heard that. Yeah, you know, just my upbringing, you know what I'm saying? I grew up in the Bronx. Could you imagine the Bronx in the 70s and 80s? And you saw movies like Wild Style, and you saw Warriors and things like that. And you know, I grew up in that, you know what I'm saying? And so when I made actually this entire project that I'm doing, because I'm working on an album, but this single Before, it's an introspective look into the world of Smooth B. You know what I'm saying? Because over the years, you know, of course, you know, for y'all that don't know, Nice and Smooth, that was my original group and so forth and so on.
That's when you know the party is about to get started.
Yeah. You know, so we made them party bangers, and you know, we were also signatured for pioneering the fusion of R&B and hip hop, you know, mixing, singing, and rapping. Because before we was doing it, people wasn't really doing it like that. Like that, you know what I'm saying? So we brought that whole
just a phase.
Yeah, they thought rap. They didn't even look at rap as a true art form.
That's what was crazy.
And I was like, nah, I'm gonna add on. You know what I'm saying? And so I got that opportunity. All praises due. Thank God for that. And once I got a chance to get in there, I just started implementing that flow and mixing the singing with the rapping. And so at this point in time, I said, you know, the song Before, like over the years, like particularly maybe in the last 5 years, I'd be traveling, we'd be doing different shows and stuff, and people would come up to me and they'd be like, yo, Smooth, I want to hear something solo from you. I want to hear your solo album, man. I know you got something to say. Or people that actually know me and know my journey. They was like, Smooth, you got to talk to them, man. You got to tell them what you've been through. And I was like, okay. And so the song Before, it's an interpolation, meaning that I took the original melody of Sir Elton John, and he had a song called, I guess that's why they call it the blues. And so I put the hip hop spin on it. And so I'm like, well, I guess that's why they call it the blues. Time on my hands could be time spent with you, laughing like children, boning like lovers, rolling like thunder under the covers. No, I put my own little. You know, but
he said boning like.
No, he didn't say boning.
Okay, I was like, I don't even.
That's nothing. Huh? Boning like lovers, that's me.
I was like, the Elton John say that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know. And so, but when I was young, So now I'm taking them back.
Right.
When I was young, I had to beat the clock before. Now, beating the clock, they used to have a game show in the 70s called Beat the Clock.
Really?
And that meant you was racing the clock for a certain time period, right? To answer questions, right? Whatever. So in the hood, if you had a curfew, people they would tease you. Oh, beat the clock, beat the clock.
Exactly.
Right? So I was
beat
the youngest.
Street lights.
Right, the street light joint. That
was our clock.
What? 8 o'clock when that light come on, my mama was like, "Boy, you better be your." Can I curse? No,
yeah, you can curse.
Lightly.
Yeah,
I'm not getting vulgar. But she used to say to me, "Be your ass home by the time that light come on."
Right.
All right, fine. So I was the youngest growing up out of my crew. Like I'd be like 12 or 11, 10, 11, hanging out with 13, 14-year-olds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
being
grown, you know what I'm saying? And then my older brothers were so cool, and everybody just like, you know, they was who they were, and they'd be like, "That's Lil D, that's Shaking Blue little brother, that's Mike and Charles little brother," you know. And so I was hanging out with 14, 15 years old, 15-year-olds. But when that time came, they'd be like, "Yo, D Barnes, you gotta beat the clock." So I said, when I was young, I had to beat the clock before.
Yep.
I was the first one with Pumas on the block before, because on my block, I was the first one with Pumas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I said,
you had to connect back then.
What? Oh no, my brothers, they blessing me like, "Here, wear these." You know, first it was Pro Heads and Converse and Tom McCann jocks.
Yep.
I was the first one with Pumas.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they was like, "What are those?" And suede sneakers. You know, that was big back then.
Oh yeah.
And so I said, when I was young, I had to beat the clock before. I was the first one with Pumas on the block before. I've been locked up before. No, I said, when I was young, I had to beat the clock before. I was the first one with Pumas on the block before. I left bitches in shock before. I don't know. I'm paraphrasing. I can't even remember my own shit. But I was saying, I've been locked up before. I hit a nigga with a lock and a sock before. Now, I might as well go into it.
Right.
Now, the lock and the sock,
right,
that was real back in the days.
Wow.
Where you took a lock, either a combination lock or a padlock,
Ooh.
you put it in the sock and boop, right? And so how I came across that as a kid was that it was one Halloween, and this older kid, I went out and I had a pillowcase and I got all my candy and I was chilling. And just when I'm coming back to my building, this older kid, he was about 15. He was like, "What?" He said, "What you got, D?" And I was like, "Oh man, I got mad candy." And he just took my candy from me.
Oh, I thought he was gonna take the lock in his sock.
No, I did that. He took the candy from me, right? So I'm hurt. Took my candy. So I go upstairs. And then the next day, like by that time, my brothers didn't live with me.
Right.
So my older brother just happened to come by. Like, "What up, D?" And I said, "Chilling, man." And he was like, "What's the matter?" I said, "Man, like, yesterday I went." He said, "You went trick-or-treating?" And I was like, "Yeah, man." And this kid took all my candy. He said, "What? Come on." So he went outside. He started looking for the kid. We ain't see him, right? So my brother at that time, he was like 17, and the kid was about 15. So my brother looked for him. You know, my brothers used to beat the brakes off.
Okay.
Cats. So we didn't find him. So my brother said, "Listen, man, let me tell you something." He said, "I'm gonna show you something." He said, "Because I ain't gonna always be around." He said, "But it's called the lock in the side." And my brother Blue, peace and blessings upon him, he returned to the essence. But Blue was like, "Hey, yo, I'm gonna imitate him now. Hey, yo, D, listen. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna teach you about the lock in the sock." And I was like, "Lock in the sock? What is he talking about?"
Right.
So he goes to the kitchen, and we had a hardware drawer, like a drawer with all types of hammers and all types of shit in it.
Oh.
And he snatched one of them locks and he put it in. He said, "Now go get a tube sock." So I went and got a tube sock. He put the lock in there, tied it up. He said, "Now listen." He said, "When you see him again," he says, "You little." He said, "So you gotta chill. You can't walk up to him with the lock in the sock.
Right.
He'll take that from you and whip your little ass." He said, "So you gotta see him and you gotta play it off. You gotta chill." He said, "Then wait like it ain't nothing. When he turned his back and he's really not paying attention to you, you run up on him and smack him with that joint." So that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? Wore his ass out.
Wow.
And that was one of my David and Goliath stories.
Right.
So going back, I said, I hit a nigga with a lock and a sock before. I left bitches in shock before. Hustle weed and on the block before. Got a penicillin shot before. And smoked a blunt with my nigga Tupac before. Happy birthday, Pac. Today's Tupac's birthday.
That's right. Today
you know
is Tupac's birthday.
Everything that you hear in that song. And I said, Daryl Barnes, that's me. Day one spitter. call me Smooth B. I said, Daryl Barnes, day one hitter. Call me Smooth B, day one spitter. You know, things like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when did you know like that you would be rapping like?
Oh man, you know, when I was younger, I grew up in it.
Right.
So being in the Bronx, I got a chance to see Grandmaster Flash, Melly Mel, all of them was from my neighborhood.
Right.
So I would see them and I would just be in awe, like looking at them cats, like, yo, they're amazing. And back then, you know, you had like
pause for 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead. All right. Yeah, take your time, baby.
I can edit that part out.
Yeah, that water.
That water.
It'll go down one. Yeah, go down. Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
All right, good.
All right.
So yeah, you know, so the thing is, originally I always wanted to do it, but you got to remember the first pioneers, they had deeper voices, and they were like Millie Mel and Curtis Blow. You know, they had that type of voice.
Oh yeah.
I ain't have that type of voice, so you know, I was just like, damn it, you know. But I always was kind of gifted to put little rhymes together.
Right.
You know? And I always wanted to do it, but I didn't think I had the voice for it. But I could sing, so I used to sing stylistic songs. So I had a high pitched voice, and I used to sing stylistics and Blue Magic.
Because I did hear you singing now on the single.
Yes.
And I was trying to figure out, because at one point in the video, the other guy singing, and you were singing. So I'm like, yeah, is he really singing, or is who's singing?
Who's singing? You seen somebody else singing?
Yeah, I seen somebody else singing.
Oh, girl,
but his lips was moving to it.
Oh, his lips.
Spanish guy.
Or maybe he was just open.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's me singing.
But I was trying to tell, like, if that was him really. Oh, and you were lip syncing, but I was like, nah, you ain't lip syncing.
Man, if you don't stop playing with me, woman. You can't have your cake and eat it too, girl. That's a 1991 lyric, girl.
Right.
Ideas of two loves just won't do. When I was doing all that,
you was auditioning for the Hot 5 Heartbeats.
Oh man, if you don't stop playing with me, girl, I was a background singer for Bobby Brown. I've been putting that work in.
Right,
you know
what I'm saying? The work in.
Yeah, you know, so you know, that was it. And so what I did was I said, you know, I want to always implement singing into my rhymes. And thus, you know, from working with Bobby, and then I met Greg, and then we formed Nice and Smooth. So, you know, it's only fitting that I continue, you know, that same process.
Right. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So you got the Bonitas.
Oh yeah.
The Puerto Ricans.
Oh yeah.
And everything, because the Bronx is just Latino infused. Okay.
Come on.
All different flavors in the Bronx.
I got Latinos in my family. I got Panamanians. I got Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? So we grew up around all of that.
Yes.
New York is the melting pot.
It really is the melting pot.
I mean, look, I grew up in a building with Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Jewish, Philippine. It was even Chinese people that lived in my building.
Wow.
Yeah. And they owned the Chinese restaurant down the block from our crib. It just bugged out.
Now, see, that's the difference from LA and New York.
Right.
Because in LA, it's like all the Spanish live in East LA.
Right.
All the Black people with money live over here. The other Black people in the middle class live over here.
Right.
The upper class white people live over here. The not so upper class white people live. It's all like, you don't see, it's not a melting pot. Right. You're not gonna see a bunch of different races on one block unless you're out in the valley now.
Right.
Where a Black woman.
Right.
Right.
That's right.
Who's been doing real estate her whole life can, you know,
can do her thing.
Exactly. Can do her thing. But it's not typical in Los Angeles. She's from Miami.
Nice.
Right. So everyone loves to come to Los Angeles, but I know that you were like, I gotta get some of this LA Latina and Latino and the sombreros.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
The video looks so fun.
Oh man, that was beautiful doing it. And so for y'all that don't know, y'all gonna see after this, y'all gonna see. I did it in Spanish also, the song before. And again, that's carrying tradition, because back in the days I did Hip Hop Junkies in the version of Spanish. And that was before reggaeton and all of that. I'm just trying to let y'all know why they call me the legendary Smooth B, huh? Now listen. Ya lo ves que tú me quedas azul. Ves where I am, necesito tu luz. Pasan los años, sigo contando. Hoy me levanto y no estás a mi lado. Yeah.
somebody popping up in
there. Yeah, ma. You know how we do it, mama.
I already know. Yeah. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So what part of town where you guys were all over the place?
Yes.
Where were you? I was trying to look for landmarks.
Landmarks,
right?
There
was so much going on. I was just like
yeah, we took it down. We took it down to Long Beach.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We bounced around Long Beach. We was in Van Nuys.
Okay.
You know, that the restaurant scene that was up in Van Nuys, you know what I'm saying?
I can tell you I was all over.
Oh man, we was all over the place. And
how many days did it take?
Oh man, that was like 3.
3.
Yeah, 3.
Nice.
To cover it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So did you feel real good about doing a solo project?
Oh,
like,
man.
you know what? I'm just gonna do it by myself.
Yes.
You know, at some point in age, you like, you know what? It's time.
Yeah. You be like, yo, what the hell am I doing?
That already.
I did that. Been there, done that. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's love. It's nothing but love. But I started off solo, and it was funny. Like a while back, maybe a year ago, you know, right before COVID and all that hit, I was in my bag and I was doing my thing. And then actually I dropped the first original version of Before.
Okay.
And then I did the remix for the Outlawz.
Yeah, I saw like a bunch of different versions. Yeah. I saw the clean version, dirty version.
Hey.
I heard all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
And I got more versions. That's what's so crazy. So I'm trying to take it easy because I got long forms.
Were people calling you to get on there? Get on the song?
Yeah.
Because that's all people do. When they hear it, especially your friends, they be like, yo, let me get some of that.
Oh man, y'all been getting that, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Y'all might be hearing some more versions of Before, you know. But I did some funny, oh my God, I did some funny long forms and barbershop scenes. And all that, so you know. How
did you link with the Outlawz?
Oh yeah, well, I know them for years. We all known each other for years.
Where they from?
Well, they're from Jersey originally. Okay. And so one is in Atlanta and one is out here. Okay. Edie Amin is out here and Young Noble is in Atlanta. And so, you know, we've known each other for years, and those are my boys, man, you know. And so when I was out here one day, I went in this little store and I didn't realize Edie was out here.
Right.
I go in the store to buy some cigars, you know, roll me a little blunt or something. Right. Yo, who walking there but Edie?
No way.
So I'm like, Edie! We hugging each other.
Oh, I know y'all made a scene.
Oh man, you know we did. And so we exchanged numbers and everything. And I was like, yeah, boom. And then we kept it going. And you know, we just see each other off and on. When randomly I go up in the club and I see Edie, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been out here for some years now.
Right.
And so it didn't dawn on me as far as doing a song with them actually. And then when I did Before, you know, well, in the process of it, unfortunately, my wife passed away, right?
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, my wife passed away this past September, you know what I'm saying? And
wow.
Yeah, we were together for 32 years. You know what I'm saying?
That's a long time.
Yeah, so, you know, it still is.
You know what commitment is like.
Oh, man, you know I know. And I know what real love is. I know what unconditional love is.
Yes.
I know what sacrifice is.
Sadly, a lot of people don't even get to experience that in life.
So I'm truly thankful.
Right.
I have been blessed, you know what I'm saying? Blessings to my seeds, my kids, and everything. And so, you know, and she could sing, you know what I'm saying? And everybody got a chance to meet her, like the Outlawz know my wife, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So the thing was, at her going home, you know, ceremony, I looked up and I was seeing people that I hadn't seen in 20, 30 years, man. Wow. Like this social media is amazing. Because I didn't even make a big thing about it. I just, you know, but I don't know. People came out. Oh, yeah, everybody that came, it was beautiful. And the one thing I can say, a lot of love out there. Oh man, Ma. And one thing that I can say that I appreciate about California is that, you know, around the country, that's what I'm saying. That's a blessing. All praises due. I was able to have 40 people, you know, during COVID, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, and it was just amazing.
That is a blessing. Yeah, they were really being restrictive.
Yes.
And people were upset.
Yes, and so I got a chance to do it up nice for her and send her that queenly, you know, send off. But I turned around and Edie Amin was standing there.
Wow.
And I was like, oh shit, Edie. He said, Smooth, you know, as soon as I heard, he was like, I'm not missing this for nothing, Smooth. I love you, man. And I just hugged him, you know what I'm saying? And then about 3 days went by. And I was sitting in my crib and I'm listening to Before. I said, oh shit. I just saw Edie. Wow. So I called him. I said, yo, Edie, man, I got this idea, man. I want to do a remix. Would y'all be down? He said, come on, OG. Send me the track right now. And then next thing you know, I sent him the track. And they called me back and said, that shit fire. And I sent it to Noble. You have it by in a couple of days.
It was like, so perfect with them. It was like, it was always meant for all of y'all to just, the way everybody flowed on it.
Oh, man.
With their different parts. It was just like,
man. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful, man. It's a blessing.
It
you
was.
Know what I'm saying? And it's like,
and then you could sing. See, that you do what you do and let you sing.
Right. You know? Yes, man.
I love that part. Yes. I love that part.
Yes, man. So
I'm glad it's doing well. The record is doing well.
You know what? The blessing. This is amazing. In the last year, you know, I say you might lose a physical companion or a physical relative, but you gain an angel.
Right.
Oh man, this is all new to me, but it's a trip because in the last year, I got 2 number ones. so the original before went number 1.
Wow.
I got a song called Summer Cry, which is going to be my next single. On DRT, on the digital radio tracker.
Okay.
Summer Cry went number 1 with no video. Wow. I'm getting ready to shoot that video.
See?
Then the remix with the Outlawz went number 3.
Wow.
So Summer Cry occupied the number 1 space, while the remix with the Outlawz was number 3. The guy from DRT called me up. Shout out to Mike Myers. He called me up personally and said, yo, Smooth, man, this is the first time that we've ever had 2 songs occupy the charts in the top 10.
I love that.
I said, God is the greatest. Right, that part.
By the same artist who ain't put a song out.
Right. And like,
who knows when.
Since whenever.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And so
I know that made you feel good.
Oh my God. You feel me? And then now the remix, so the remix video with the Outlawz, we just dropped that officially, like it's been a month now.
Okay.
And in another week, maybe shy of 10 days, it'll be platinum. I'm at 800,000 streams.
Wow. That's dope.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know.
And see, do you think that the streaming is helping artists? Like before, you would have had to go find a label and somebody to help you release it.
Right.
And then you like, oh, y'all going back and forth.
Oh my God.
And then they're telling you who they want to put on it. And then they shoot the video, but now you owe them.
Oh boy,
100,000 before you can even start making any money.
You feel what I'm saying? You know it all. You know I know how that go. And it used to be so headachy.
And now we look back like, you know what?
Right.
We didn't even have to do all of that.
Right. Right.
And did I really have to spend that kind of money for me to go in business in debt?
Right. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was a whole, it was rigged. The game was rigged, baby. Right.
That's all you able to get. Come like on, the man. Video clothes.
Come on, man. You feel what I'm saying? And we used to, oh man, I went through
Don't
it
get
all.
You started.
What? I got so many stories, mom. Forget about it. You know what I'm saying?
That's another thing I wanted to ask you. It's like the pioneers, the people who everyone's sampling from and everything weren't getting like paid or able to really track the sampling like they do now.
Oh boy, exactly.
And now the new artists, anything you got on Instagram, they're like, strike. Right. Oh, Warner Brothers said.
Right. Oh like, yeah, how about that?
But what about the 80 million songs I got out there?
Come on, man.
And it's like, I wish it was a way that they could do that, like to backtrack. If they was to backtrack to all the pioneers in the rap game, especially, you know how rich everyone would be right now. When they talk about retributions,
come on.
The artists need to be like, we need our retributions.
Yeah.
You might need to try to get that law passed since Joe Biden's going to be canceling daylight savings time.
Yeah. What?
They got a new law. No more daylight savings time. The time will never go back again.
What?
Just like that. Cancel.
Oh man,
so they can put a law in for
if they want to do that, they can do that. They can do what they want to do.
He was like, that's just something they really did back in the day, slavery times, they say.
Wow.
Allegedly, that's what they did so that they could work longer in the field.
Holy.
So they turned the time back because it was getting dark too soon. Whoa. But now they're like, we don't need to keep turning the time back for what? So he said there will be no more daylight savings time. I'm like, can they do that?
Yeah, that sounds so crazy.
They can do whatever in the U.S., right?
Yeah, right.
Whatever they want. Well, we do work on the retributions for the pioneer rappers. Oh, yeah. How about that?
Absolutely. Let's do that.
Y'all making up stuff.
Y'all making up shit. Yeah, that part. Add that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's really just so not fair. Yeah. Now, another thing I found very interesting is that when you were making records, you guys were only able to put them on a reel that only held so many songs.
Right.
But now digitally,
yes,
you can have a whole album with 17, 18 songs. Yeah. And back then you
could have it in your pocket.
Right.
On a zip drive, thumb drive. You know, the funny part, that's what I'm saying. I'm loving this.
Right.
Because guess what? Those same reels that you're talking about, it was only like 3 or 4 songs.
3 or 4 songs.
Them shits was heavy. They weighed like 8 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And if you didn't have a car, you know, at that time, we used to be on the train. Because see, when I started, I did the whole kit and caboodle.
Right.
We pressed records up. I pressed the records up, went store to store. Like I did that part, you know what I'm saying? And then we went out and we took it to Red Alert, and we took it to the Awesome 2 and got some spins and all of that, and got the attention of record companies like Sleeping Bag Records, who once we went gold, they filed bankruptcy. So like, you know,
and you physically had to go places back then, physically into the place, to have a meeting, to talk with somebody in person.
Right. So you learn how to communicate.
Right.
How about that?
Exactly.
Which a lot of people don't know how to do these days. However, that's kind of like the downside. But the upside is, man, you can create something, push a button that's on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
I remember coming up, in order to make your album cover, you'd have the photographer, but then you'd have to send your pictures to Canada. Because every album cover, I don't care if he was Rick James, Michael Jackson, Prince, or Run DMC, everybody's album covers were manufactured and finished in Canada.
Really?
So when you was on the record label, you take your picture, and then it would take about 6 weeks before you get it back. And so back then,
another scam.
Yeah, and then, and then back then we were like, wow. And so as artists, it was like a anticipation. Because, you know, you took the pictures. And I can't wait to see what the picture look like. You know, it was things like that. Bad. Yeah, you know. Yeah,
and then like you could change it.
Right.
Right.
Oh, it's a wrap. You stuck. This is the one we took. This is the one we took.
Oh, now these artists have so many liberties.
Right. So now
they'll be like, no, I don't like those 3. Right. I'm not releasing a song until we get what and you're like, what?
Right. You know what I'm saying? So I say, man, work that magic. Do what you got to do, as long as you come out of it happy, feeling good, and paid. Right.
So many platforms. They got the Patreon, now all the Clubhouse. Like, it's so many ways you can promote your stuff yourself for free without involving anybody, you know, because it's gonna spread.
Yes.
It's gonna spread once it gets out there. I think even Eric Sermon has a streaming platform now. I know he had one he was working on. And then he was getting all the independent artists to get on his streaming, and they're paying him. He's like, I'm gonna be my own title.
Right. That part.
But once you figure it out, it's like the young cats, they don't really know. So they're gonna be like, okay, and now they got loot. They have the money to give you to do whatever, and they're not trying to learn to do it themselves. It's lazy.
It's cool.
Right.
I'm like, all right, well, come on, let's get this bag then,
exactly.
I got something for you.
Yes. So do you think you'll ever start a label?
I have my own label. This is my label. Barnes Entertainment Music Group. This is my record label.
You see, you ain't say all of that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Listen, my new music and everything is on my label. I'm Daryl Barnes, Barnes Entertainment Music Group, BEMG, that part.
Now, you're not related to my girl D Barnes, are you?
Nah, well, you know, it's funny when I used to do when I did Pump It Up, I'd be like, yo, this is my sister, you know what I'm saying? But we're not actually.
Okay.
But that's my homie, man. Shout out to D Barnes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Okay.
But yeah, and that's funny. D Barnes and I'm Daryl Barnes.
I know,
that
right?
Part.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so let's see. You're gonna shoot this video when?
Which one? For Summer Cry?
Yes, for Summer Cry.
Tentatively maybe late July.
Okay.
Or early August.
So where should everybody go and download from your label? They have a site. They can do it from yours.
Yes.
And you would prefer them to do it there instead of go to Spotify and all of that?
I mean,
or can they do it on any streaming platform?
Yeah, they can do it on.
Because it all goes back to daddy.
Yeah, exactly. No, hit them streaming platforms.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Love it. Absolutely. Love it. All right. So is it just gonna say before? That's it.
No, it says so. It's Smooth B.
Okay.
I'm the legendary Smooth B.
Yes.
Right. But you know, I got Smooth B so much. You know what I'm saying? So when you actually go to it, it'll say Smooth B before.
Okay.
And then it'll say Smooth B remix featuring the Outlawz.
Yes.
So it's before remix featuring the Outlawz, and then you'll see Smooth B before Spanish version.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I saw all those different ones.
Yeah.
So I wanted you to break it down because
yeah.
they might not know.
I like
they need to listen to all. Just download all of them.
It's gonna be fun.
Show some support.
Y'all gonna have, y'all gonna have a good
y'all
time.
will have the best fun in your party.
Yeah.
Playing that.
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm telling you,
a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's just a
fun music. Just bring it. Yeah, that party, man. That's what we do, man. I like making people feel good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, like before I put something out, everybody like, yo, we missed the golden era. When you coming out with a record, even people all talk your head off. Right. Then when you come out, you're like, yo, nigga, I'm out. Did you cop it?
Right.
You gonna show the love, where the support.
Now, wait a minute, the DJ convention in Atlanta.
Oh man, shout out to the core DJs. Shout out to EMCD, all of them, man, all of the. Did
y'all have fun?
What? Yo.
Atlanta's Atlanta deep. Okay, yeah. He had the whole family that was like, oh, you not downloading it?
Yo,
like where it was like, oh, okay, we downloading it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They was all in front of him, like you like, can I get to Smooth?
Right.
They was like security.
Right.
Your family was like security.
They go hard, man. They love me, man. They go hard.
You have to go through the checkpoint and then get to Smooth. Okay.
Yeah, man.
So you guys had a blast.
Oh,
I
man,
know it was crazy.
Oh yeah.
And Atlanta was 100% open. None of this on the 15th.
Oh yeah.
They must have did it the 15th last year.
Right. Oh yeah. Atlanta's off the chain, man. I had a good time out there, man.
It is. I saw you out there hitting the purple carpet.
Woo!
The WeTV event.
Hey.
You saw the girls.
Beyond the pole, baby.
Nothing but little waist and
Jesus Christ.
Right.
Georgia Peaches.
Georgia Peaches. Right
on.
Oh my goodness. I'm not even gonna ask them what other kind of entertainment they got into.
Oh boy.
I'm not asking nothing.
Shout out to the King of Diamonds. Nah, my man Akinelli for president.
Yeah. So I'm gonna thank you, Mike Arunde, for introducing us together.
Yes, man. Shout out to Mike Arunde. Man, shout out to
Mike is so smooth.
Yeah, Mike is the coolest, man. That's the coolest cat, And shout out to Big Eye God, you know what I'm saying? Big Eye God Enterprises, that's my business partner. And yeah, man. All that good shit.
All right, this is Smooth B and JoJo in these streets, live from Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And we out.